Nobody wants to be dry chicken. What do I mean? Well, I'll tell you a quick story, if that's okay. I went to a wedding recently. It was a lovely wedding. Um, Everything was perfect, absolutely perfect. The cars that the wedding party arrived in were really fascinating and amazing and different. The location was superb. Um, uh, Again, slightly off piste, but traditional enough that it just was a beautiful setting. The weather was great. Um, Everyone looked absolutely amazing. Of course, um, uh, the party favors on the tables, the order of service, everything, every little detail had been considered and thought through and taken care of. Um, but the reality is, the one thing everyone will be talking about for years to come is the dry chicken. And when the dry chicken landed, you could see it on people's face. If I'm honest, it ruined the wedding. And I do worry that the bride and groom will see this. And if they do, it was a lovely wedding. It was great. It didn't ruin it terribly, but it's the one thing that most people will remember, and you should give the caterer a slap. I think a few of us mentioned it to you after the event. So the reality is, the problem is that you can be awesome at what you do. Everything your business does can be perfect. It takes one thing to let yourself down. And you have to watch out for what lets you down. Ultimately, in business, your job as a business leader and a marketing leader is to watch out for the dry chicken. There's always going to be dry chicken. It's going to rear its head. You have to really focus and look around and see the engagement points that your business has with prospects and customers. You have to really detail, if possible, the processes by which you engage with your prospects and customers. And then at every stage in that process, you have to ask yourself, what's happening here? And what communication are we sending out? What messaging are we using? It could be a tiny faux pas that's created. Now, in other videos, just to clarify, I talk about not getting trapped in the paralysis of perfection. This isn't about perfection. I don't think a single typo in the middle of a 12-step marketing campaign is going to necessarily cause you a problem, unless you are the type of business that really shouldn't have typos. So, for example, a law firm shouldn't have typos in contracts. Clearly, I want a law firm that doesn't have typos in contracts. A law firm might compromise in other ways. There may be other failure points that I would dismiss more easily in a law firm than a typo. But in my world, if there was a typo in one of 12 marketing interactions, I'm not going to sweat it too much. So the point is, you have to watch out for what lets you down. Ultimately, there's bound to be a dry chicken moment in your business. And you'll know when you reach the dry chicken moment, because you'll feel really good about things in the marketing context. You'll feel like you're speaking to your prospects and you're working really powerfully with them. You've got great customers coming on board, and then you will get either notification there's a problem from a customer, or you will find it. Obviously, in a perfect world, we want you to find it. In a perfect world, you will see it before anybody else does. You'll correct it. No one will ever know it was there. But you have to watch out for what lets you down. It's going to be there. You've got to walk through the processes, walk through the messaging, and make sure that you don't miss something really obvious. I'm not talking about the tiny little details. I'm talking about something really obvious. If that caterer at that wedding would have made sure there was a testing process to taste the chicken before it went out, they would have spotted the dry chicken. Now, they may have at that point found it too late to do anything about it, but they may have solved it in other ways. Maybe they would have added more gravy, because, to be honest, there wasn't that much gravy. And the dry chicken really stood out because it was dry chicken. So maybe they'd have swamped it with a bit more gravy. Maybe instead of dry chicken, we'd be talking about, yeah, but what was with the gravy? It was like a soup. But to be honest, I'd rather be talking about too much gravy than dry chicken. So in marketing and in business, it's your job to make sure that nothing lets you down, that you're engaged enough with your clients through the processes and messages that you are leveraging into the marketplace, so that you can ensure that there's no dry chicken and that there's plenty of gravy if the situation deserves it. I hope that helps. Go and check your chicken and make sure it's not too dry. Have a good day.